Hello and welcome to this video in which I'll be giving you my thoughts on the songs for Montesong 2024.
A disclaimer. Israel shouldn't be allowed to participate at the Eurovision Song Contest 2025. The shortest and simplest reason being that I find the actions of the Israeli government to be abhorrent and their broadcaster isn't a separate entity. My reasons in their entirety, however, are numerous and too detailed for a disclaimer like this, but videos closely aligning with my point of view are listed in the description. I encourage you to watch those videos and do something. Further resources are added as and when they become relevant. I'll stop addressing this when it no longer needs to be addressed.
This is the first proper video of the season, and I've got my new Eurovision notebook that I bought in Malmö. I'm ready to go. I find it a little bit unfortunate that the first true video is once again just days out from the true equinox, but I can't control that. And I'm pretty excited. I'm not the most optimistic about the quality, seeing as only 32 eligible songs were actually submitted to Montesong, but you do only need one good song within them to go to Eurovision with, so maybe there'll be some gems in here, who knows. And I'm always excited to see a country returning. I'm pretty sure I know none of these names, so everyone will be a surprise to me. The whole release schedule seemed to be a little bit of a cryptic mystery to me. Initially, it was said that the songs would be released 10 days before the final, which would make that the 17th of November, but it was then spread around Instagram pages that I do trust that they would be released on the 10th of November, so I was trying to get ready for that, and then I tried researching it, and I only came across the official information 10 days before the final. I don't know if there's like a translation error or what, but the songs are out now on the 10th of November. And they also said they'd be out at 11 past 10 a.m. To, I don't know, reflect the date, I guess. But they were actually already out at 10 a.m. So, all in all, I'm pretty confused, but we've got the songs, so I'll listen to them now. Robin has also been getting ready to film again. She's been getting used to sitting up here again, but she doesn't really seem to want to right now, which is okay. She's cleaning her foot behind the camera, but I'm sure you'll see Robin again soon. Barring revamps and a literal change of song, I'll be hearing the first Eurovision song today. All of us will. We just don't know which one for 2025, so that's pretty exciting. And to be honest, I'm not going to stall any longer. I'm just going to go ahead and listen to the songs and come back to you with my thoughts now. Alright, so I've now listened through to all 16 songs. Did get interrupted in the middle, so take that with a grain of salt. I got interrupted at song number 13 out of 16. So I did get through most of them before having a little break, unwillingly. And all in all, I'm positively impressed. The quality is better than I was expecting from a national final that only got 32 eligible entries. So that's pretty impressive. And I have a clear favourite, but it's not a clear favourite by miles. I think they do have quite a few good options that have a lot of potential, depending on the staging, on the vocal delivery, because these are studio versions so far. But I do think Montenegro has some cool options for Eurovision 2025. There is a clear runaway winner in the app after an hour in my Eurovision scoreboard, an hour and a half. It is Nina Žižić with Dobrodošli. So that's who seems to be the favourite upon first listen for a lot of people. I've got her pretty low down, but that doesn't mean that I won't enjoy the song once I see the full staging. Just on first listen, it wasn't really for me. Slash it was in the middle, because I think I was getting a little bit of Balkan ballad fatigue in the middle, and I didn't quite enjoy those songs as much as I maybe would have done if they were at the start or the end, because I definitely felt a little bit of a slump in the middle in terms of my enjoyment of the songs. Quite a few of them sounded dated, but there was less English than I anticipated there to be. I think I was expecting a lot of English because Montenegro are returning after 3 years of not being at Eurovision, and I thought maybe they're hoping for some international success with these songs. Not that songs in Montenegrin can't have that, it's just unusual for them to. But then I thought maybe there's some background politics of Montesong that you are much more likely to win with a song completely in Montenegrin, and revamping it later is the smart thing to do if you wanted an English song at Eurovision. So maybe that's what's happening. There's a few English words, but no songs with like a chorus completely in English or whatever. I know they have to be 51% in an official language. I didn't look up any of the lyrics. I understood parts from my other Slavic knowledge, but not as much as I was expecting to either. I thought I'd understand the songs a lot more. Mostly I gathered like one or two main sentences from each song and not much else. I genuinely mostly impressed by the quality for Montenegro here. I don't think I'll be going through my entire top 16 because I don't think that will achieve much. I'll just repeat myself quite a bit, but I'll go through my top 5. In my 5th spot I've put Obalaraya from Kate. It's a pretty power ballad and it's got an intriguing structure in terms of having some drum and bassy sounding stuff for the chorus. I really like the post-chorus on this song as well, and it's the first one that had true English apart from Stop War, and the only one. So that was slightly interesting in terms of Eurovision. And I did think it was a pretty power ballad, so it's completely fine. My 4th spot is the first song that I listened to, Kraj by Anastasia Koprolchech. I think it's also a pretty ballad. I really think the instrumental is very interesting on this song, and it's got the obligatory keynote change, shift, octave shift, I don't know what it's called, but it has to do that, and it's got a slightly rocky twinge to the instrumentation, and I think with a few more listens I could really get into the song. It's not quite up with my favourites yet, despite being 4th, but a few more listens on, I could see myself really enjoying it. In my 3rd spot I've got Dva Serca from Bariak. I think the chorus is saying Dva Serca, jeden dom, or whatever on earth, 2 hearts, 1 home, I think. And it sounds a little bit like a rock opera to me. Like, it's not really operatic, but it's going in that direction for me. It's probably a love song based on the other lyrics, I'm not really sure. And it's got an intriguing start. And the whole thing does have a slightly unique sound to it. We don't get this kind of thing very, very often. It's not completely new to Eurovision, but it's more unique than a typical Balkan ballad, which there's also nothing wrong with a typical Balkan ballad. We need them, we love them, but it's slightly more unique than that in Eurovision. My 2nd spot is To Lubavie from, I'm not really sure how this is pronounced, but not knowing how that is pronounced, Durda, I assume that's wrong. It sounds very classical, a little almost Disney, and it sounds familiar. I'm not sure that it's actually ripping anything off, or if it just immediately has this like homey feeling to it. I have no idea, but I did really enjoy it, considering it's a Balkan ballad. It was near the end, so I was getting a little bit more awake, ready to start talking about the songs, but I did really enjoy listening to it. And my runaway winner, which I think is going to be a bit of an unpopular opinion because it's number 8 in my Eurovision scoreboard right now, upon other people's first listens, is Lieto, Lieto, Lieto from Izak Sabanovic. I knew right from the first couple lines that this is the kind of song for me. It's a little bit kitschy. I really love the instrumentation, like I really, really, really love it. I'm not really sure what the lyrics are about. Lieto, 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 and then like oko, okos. I don't know if it's... I genuinely don't know what lieto is. But it's just a little bit of ridiculous and unhinged. And it could come off as just kitschy on stage, or it could really work. That entirely depends on the delivery. And I'm not sure which one of the two it will be. But in the studio version, I do really enjoy it. I'm not sure that it's Montenegro's best choice for Eurovision, but it's definitely my favourite of the lot upon first listen. Things could also change if I were to listen to songs more. The points on my Eurovision scoreboard are sort of split up into 3 parts, I'd say. It's slight clustering amongst the top 4 for Nina Zizic, Anastasia Koprolchech, Kate and Tamara Zivkovic. Then there's a slight drop down to the rest of the songs, where it mostly sort of steadily drops down. Durda does also have slightly more points than the rest. But then there's also a clear least favourite within the first 2 hours of the fans, and that is unfortunately Glumci Band with their song San. I did think that was interesting, but would need a really, really strong staging for it to work. I'm not sure that I'd call it bad necessarily. But I did have the most to write about it. Like, the block of text that I've written is the most, because the song doesn't really feel complete. It still feels like it's starting at like 120, but it's definitely its own thing. So I'm not writing it off just yet, because if they've got a really cool staging concept, I wouldn't be mad about that either. And I did actually give it more points than a few of the other songs that I found a little bit more boring. Again, nothing was actually outright bad for me, but some of the songs were pretty boring, and San wasn't. So we'll see what happens in 2 weeks once we get to Montesong 2024. And I'm excited that theoretically I've now heard the first Eurovision 2025 song. Don't know which one of the 16 it is yet, but I have heard it now, as have you. And now I'll ask you, what did you think of the songs for Montesong 2024? If you've got any thoughts whatsoever, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. I'm curious to see what other people are thinking. And if you enjoyed the video, do consider subscribing, liking. It all helps out, and share the video if you think anyone else would find the video interesting. All in all, thank you ever so much for watching this video. I really do hope that you enjoyed it. That got something out of it. I'll see you in the next one that shows up on your feed. Bye! What's up with your tail, Robin?